what is this? Because on the one hand, you're like, you know what? It's hysterical. Jokic just does his own thing. Jokic just is into racehorses. Basketball isn't life to Jokic. But I have a feeling it's something a little bit more than that. And I have a feeling that the way that Jokic is wired is completely unique to any American-born person. Here's what I mean. If you are born here in the States, we are wired, we are taught, we are indoctrinated with the idea that winning a championship is the only thing that matters. In your given sport, if you win the World Series, the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, the Stanley Cup, that is it. And we hear athlete and coach after athlete and coach speak to that. What defines their career? Winning a championship. Talk to any of the Rams of the greatest show on turf. They speak less of the one that they won and more of the one that they lost. Losing a championship is so crushing because winning one defines you. It fulfills you. We pity Dan Marino. We pity Ken Griffey Jr. We pity Charles Barkley because they never won a ring. Oh my God, your career can't be complete. Your life can't be complete. You must feel so incomplete that you have not won a championship. If you are born in the States, that is the thing. In an NBA championship, at NBA Finals, you grow up going, well, there's Bill Russell, and there's Magic, and there's Larry, and there's Michael, and there's LeBron, and all of them won a championship. And look, this is what Kevin Durant had to do. Kevin Durant had to leave to win a championship to validate himself. And LeBron was great, but without a championship, there's no way he can be in conversation for the greatest ever. So he's got to win a title. And it's how many titles? And it's a very American thing. More. We are a society probably built through manifest destiny, capitalism, which is about more. We start out in the Northeast. We land at Plymouth Rock. And then it's like, no, well, we need more states. We got to go top to bottom East Coast. We got to push west. We need the Midwest. We need the Rockies. We need it all the way to the Pacific because God told us we're going sea to shine and sea, baby. Capitalism. How much do you need? You need more. Communism doesn't work. You need to be selfish. Gordon Gekko, greed is good. America works because people want more, so they work harder for more, and it all seems to kind of work itself out. That's the hypothetical. That's the philosophy. That's what we're taught. You need more. You need to win. You need a championship. And if you're not born in this country, basketball might just be a job. Because let's take LeBron. LeBron's born here in Akron, Ohio, grows up idolizing Michael Jordan, grows up idolizing Magic and Larry, sees them winning championship and says, man, I saw those Forum moments and the Boston Garden moments and Chicago Stadium, and they're holding the championship trophy, and I got to do that. Let's just say the greatest league on earth was in Serbia. And LeBron played in Serbia. And LeBron won a championship in Serbia. Would it really matter that he won the championship? Or would he, like Jokic, say, the job is done, I can now go home? We here in the States think the NBA Finals, I mean, my God, that's the defining part of your life. But what if you didn't grow up here? And it's like, yeah, okay, I won a championship, but my job is done. I now get to go home. And I feel like maybe that's what Jokic is feeling. I know there's been a lot of theories on this. I heard Ramona Shelburne bring up that he grew up in war-torn Serbia. So when you live in bomb shelters and you're growing up, like winning the NBA Finals is not that big a deal. And maybe that's part of it. But I think we just expect everybody in our leagues to be indoctrinated with the same passion for the championship because that's the only thing that matters. Not realize that maybe it doesn't matter as much to them. Like the World Baseball Classic is a good example. If you're born in the States, you're like, why would you ever play in that? It's just more baseball that you don't have to play in. You have to play 162 games anyway. And the whole thing is winning a World Series. You're Edwin Diaz and you blow out your ACL in the World Baseball Classic? What are you doing? Meantime, if you play for the Dominican or Puerto Rico or Japan, that's actually way bigger than winning the World Series. You go back to the Dominican Republic. You go back to the barrio. You go back to your place that you grew up on a rock-filled parking lot, and the kids that are growing up like you use cardboard for their baseball mitts, and you say, and I won the World Series with the San Francisco Giants. And they're like, okay. But then you go, and I won the World Baseball Classic for the Dominican Republic. Oh, my God! You won a championship for us. And we think, well, the World Series, that's got to be the biggest thing ever, right? For people that didn't grow up here, it's like, yeah, it's a championship, but maybe it's not what we think it is. So I wonder if Jokic is feeling that. It's like when Marbury went to China. I think he won championships with the Zhejiang Ducks or something. I'm not sure. But could that have possibly meant a lot? Maybe it becomes more as you're there more. I mean, there's a statue to Marbury. But it certainly wasn't the same as winning the NBA Finals. And let's take Ronaldo or Messi or any of these soccer players that could play in the Saudi league because they're going to get $400 million a season. If they won the Saudi league, would they even care? It would be like, okay, job is done here. Can I go home? Marbury won 2 China League titles.
Yes, he did.
With the Ducks.
Yes, the CBA, they call that. Yes, and he was the CBA Finals MVP in 2014.
Do you think it mattered?
To them, no. To him, I'm sorry, to them, yes. To him, no. I mean, I'm sure he took pride in it, but he probably felt a lot of what Jokic is feeling.
So do you think that's what it is with Jokic? That it's just, it's a league, it's a job, and now I get to go home?
Yeah, and I don't think that means he doesn't care. You know what I mean? Like, I just think it means I did my job here. I'm so happy. I mean, you saw him celebrating, pushing Murray into the pool post-game. Oh, I got to go do a parade now, too. Because, let's be real, as cool as that is, it does feel very America to drag things out beyond what they are. Doesn't it?
Well, I think if you just want to go home, like if you were LeBron and you played in Serbia, and you're like, we won it on a Monday night, and now I get to go home to L.A. or Miami or whatever, and instead they're like, oh, no, we're doing a parade on Thursday. And you're like, I got to wait until Thursday?
Right. You can wait till the next day we wake up, the party continues. That should be the parade in his mind. Yeah, I don't blame him for thinking that. He's not used to it. It's not like growing up in America, right, where you attended these parades and you couldn't wait for them.
It's very unique, though, because we can't fathom that. We think like, like the Stanley Cup championship, it's the entire summer for Vegas now. All of those guys party the entire summer. They don't want to go home. They want to go maybe up to Manitoba where they're from, and they bring the cup and they
eat
drink
Captain Crunch out of it, right?
They eat Captain Crunch and drink a bunch of Molson Golden out of it.
Right, exactly.
But they just want to keep partying, and he's just like, no, I'm done. Can I just go home now?
Yeah. And by the way, he's going to have to be back for training camp in August. Who can blame him? I win your stupid championship. Let me go home.
Let me go home. Please, let me go home.